Hi everyone. Alright, this preparation is actually telling you your PSLE is coming, is drawing quite close, but at the same time you know that after PSLE you will able to take a breather and enjoy your Children's Day after your PSLE paper. So before we go on to after PSLE, what program and what activities you like to do, we will now like to ask all of you to take note. What must you do before the PSLE Math Paper? So in this video here, I will tell you what to prepare a week before PSLE for mathematics and what to prepare a day before PSLE mathematics. 1 week before. So what would you do 1 week before PSLE? For mathematics, try to memorize all the formula that you need and practice them using some of the questions to familiarize yourself with the formula that you often use and you may forget in the event whereby you are a bit anxious about getting the answer. So now let me just tell you what are the things you may need to require for you to memorize. Example, area of a triangle, half times base times height, circumference of a circle, pi times d, area of a circle is pi times r times r. There are other formula like volume of cuboid, volume of a cube. So all these things you also need to memorize. So what would you do? You will just look at a textbook, flip through those textbooks, A and B textbooks, and look through what formula you need to memorize and use that formula to practice on some of the questions to get yourself familiarize your representation. At the same time, practice on the use of the formula. Next, memorize conversion of fractions to percentage to decimals. What fractions? Denominator starts with 2, denominator starts with 4, denominator starts with 5, and the denominator starts with 8. For example, 1 over 8. Most of the students will use it to do long division and get the answer, but you can actually memorize it and get the answer in 2 seconds by writing it down. That's a decimal. You also can change it to fraction. So memorizing all this will help you to save time for your paper 1 because you can't use calculator for your paper 1. Please memorize all the conversion 1 week before and try to test each other with your friends on the conversion so that actually you're helping not just yourself, it's also helping your friends and our friends are helping you as well. Next, when to use specific strategies. Strategies, you have been using it since P3, you'll be model drawing, the stack model at P4, P5. All these strategies you must remember, you use it when you see certain keywords like equal, more than, less than, so on and so forth. So you maybe want to look at a question and see whether you can use model drawing to solve or even stack model to solve. If the question involves questions like number and value, for students whom I've been teaching, you know what does number stands for and what does the value stand for in the question. So you may want to use the number times value strategy. Next, ask Sam for help if you have questions on area and perimeter of various shapes and lines on composite figures. SAM stands for, you should know by now if the students are with me, S stands for subtract, A add, M move various shapes or lines to help you to get the answer that you want, to find the area or find the perimeter. But if in the event where by composite figures there are a few shapes inside, you may want to use the letters to represent your shapes in the for the area, so that when you are presenting your answers, you are able to present it very well, whereby you will tell you specifically, for example, letter A represents a rectangle in the shape. So the letters that you use will be very well established inside. Next, the numberings for parameter, the outlined. So this is the reason why I need you all to do the numbering, because sometimes when you add the lines of the parameter of any composite shape, you may forget to add one line, and that will cost you some marks. Therefore, try to write the numberings along outline of any shape, and when you add them up, you know these are the lines you need to add up to find a parameter. These are the few things you may want to take note 1 week before PSLE. Also need to do some deep breathing exercises to calm your nerves every day. Have a deep breath, and after that hold it maybe 3 seconds or even 5 seconds. You can hold longer, then you blow out slowly through your mouth. That will calm you and able to let you have a sharper mind and able to better focus on the questions before the exams. So maybe you can also do that before the exams, or every day you try to practice it first. But if you have some condition, please do take note, see whether you can do it or not, or you seek the doctor for further advice on calming your nerves. Last one, 1 week before PSLE, try to sleep early, to at least have 8 hours of sleep every night before PSLE or the first paper. This will help you get back into the routine of sleeping early. And I know some of the students will say, oh, let me sleep early the night before PSLE, the first paper, which is the English paper. But most of the students will have this anxiety of not able to sleep, even though if your sleeping time is set to be at 10 o'clock, but you want to sleep at 9, you can't sleep, obviously, because you have not get into the routine of sleeping early. This is the reason why I advise 1 week before your PSLE, try to sleep early to at least get 8 hours of sleep every day, so that when you wake up, you'll feel refreshed and your mind can be able to better focus for every paper you do for your PSLE for the next few days. How about things to be done before PSLE mathematics? Okay, I'm focusing on mathematics. So the day before the mathematics paper, these are the few things you may want to consider or take note: the calculator, the mathematical set, the pencil, the pens for writing, and eraser. So am I so concerned about these few things? Because it will efficiently help you to do the questions paper when you're doing it during the actual day. First thing, calculator. What's so great about a calculator? You have a calculator when using it, but take note, some of the calculators, the battery might be running low, and what happens if it gone blank during your PSLE paper. So please do a battery check. If you need to change the battery, please ask your parents for help. Okay, if you know how to do it, make sure maybe you may want to do it a few days before. Don't do until the night before, then you realize you change the battery, it doesn't work. Then how? So that's my advice. If you really want to make any change to your calculator battery, maybe you want to change even a few days before to ensure your calculator works even with the new change of the battery. So please ask someone who knows how to change the battery for you if needed. If you have an extra calculator, same model, and your school requires you to go and get the sticker or approval, please get it done so that at least you may have a spare calculator before you take your exams the next day. Next, ruler, set, square. What I'm talking about here is a mathematical set. Make sure you have all the mathematical set in the mathematical box, but obviously you must make sure the mathematical box doesn't have any conversion of unit of measurement, because some mathematical box has, and also some instructions manual in the mathematical box. Please remove all this before you bring it to exams. And also take note, some of your ruler, the markings here might be faded, and please make sure the markings are all perfect when you bring the ruler in, the set square as well. Make sure the markings are visible when you're using it, and also make sure you don't play with your ruler until you bend it and it's no longer straight. So make sure the ruler must be straight, must not be bent, because if you need to measure any length during the exam, the accuracy will be gone. So that's a few things you need to take note for the mathematical set. How about protractor? So when you're looking at the protractor, there are two scales. Okay, take note, the outer scale and the inner scale. So which measurement do you take? So remember, the point of the two lines must intersect or meet here when you are measuring. So before you measure, make an estimate first, because if the angle that you're going to measure is 70 degrees, it can't be here if the line is going to be here. So even though 70 is here, but it's obviously looking at the 110 degrees here. So what do you need to do? You make sure you measure, and you this is definitely the angle I'm looking for. It's 110. Nope, because the angle is smaller than 90. So you'll know it's 70 degrees. So these are the few things you need to take note before you start measuring the angle. Estimate first. Is it more or less than 90 degrees? But of course, the second point, all markings here also must be very clear, and there's no faded markings that will hinder you from measuring the angles properly. Next, pens and pencils. So if you are using wooden pencil, please sharpen it the night before. If you can get a pencil cap. I'm not sure is there any available shops at that time. Maybe you may want to get a pencil cap or even pen cap to make sure when you cap it, so the pencil, this sharp part of the pencil will not be broken when you put in the pencil case. But if you feel like you should be using mechanical pencil, I've been using mechanical pencil all along, please make sure you put 1 or 2 lead into mechanical pencil and make sure the mechanical pencil works properly before you put into the pencil case the night before. So if also talk about pens, make sure you have enough number of pens to help you to write and enough ink in each pen, alright, before you take your exams the next day. And try to use the pens that you usually use and not the new ones, another brand, another model of the pen. So use back the usual ones that you like to use it, so that when you write, it will be very comfortable because you've been using it very often. How about eraser? Eraser, obviously you must have the soft type, the soft eraser, and not those cartoon eraser that you play. It's those soft type eraser. Make sure you have, and you have a new one, that will be very good. But if you have the soft eraser has been used like what I show you in the video here, try to, because this portion here is not sharp anymore, so when you want to erase any part in the paper to erase the pencil marks, this portion here may erase those correct pencil markings as well. In order for you not to do that, advise get a new soft eraser where the corners will be like this, so that when you want to erase certain part, it erases a small little part on the paper that you want to erase. But if you can't find a soft eraser, you can ask your parent, I repeat, ask your parents to cut it for you using a pair of scissors or penknife, but don't cut it yourself because I don't want you to get yourself injured. So please make sure you don't injure your fingers, don't injure your hand when you are doing this. So that's why I ask someone else to help you, especially adults to help you who is proficient to cutting this into corners that you can use it for exams the next day. So take note of that. What happens if you forget those items which I just mentioned? Not to worry. In the school, when you really go to school and you forgot your calculator, your protractor, stay calm first, don't panic, because you should have teachers in school that can help you. So seek help from the school teachers, but obviously must be before the exams. I think most of you will be exampled in the hall or in the canteen or places for you to example before proceeding to the exam room. So what you need to do is you seek your teacher's advice. Tell the teachers you forget to bring this, forget to bring that. Don't worry, they will try their best to provide. But I cannot guarantee you if the school have those items, because you really need to seek help first and see what the school can help you with. Don't scared, just ask. The school teachers will definitely help you with that. Remember, you have 100 marks with you before you enter the exam room. So 100 marks in your pocket. Now, is 100 marks in your pocket. To do any question not sure how to do, you are just dropping off the few marks from the 100 marks. So take note. What I need you all to do, stay calm, deep breathing. Okay, but please take breathing appropriately. Train yourself to take deep breaths. But please, if you have some breathing difficulty, whatever, try to seek professional help. For that, do your best and stay calm when you're doing questions. Remember, you are stronger than you seem, smarter than you think, and love more than you know. So all the best for your PSLE. Okay? Alright, thank you very much.